In this video, I'm going to share 15 secret travel tips for beginners that I've learned from traveling to more than 100 different countries over the past decade. Now, all of these tips are going to make your trips more affordable, less stressful, and it's going to allow you to level up into a status in travel that's going to be more luxurious. Now, these tips are absolute gold, and I haven't seen a lot of people sharing these types of tips anywhere on the internet before. So you're going to want to stick around for the whole video because I'm sure you're going to find some tips that you've never heard or seen about anywhere on the internet. And there's going to be a few free tools and travel hacks that can save you thousands and thousands of dollars on your next big trip. So without further ado, let's get right into things. One of the biggest travel mistakes I see for beginners is they use OTAs. Essentially, OTAs are online travel agencies like Expedia and Kayak. I never use any of these. The reason that I don't is because anytime something goes wrong, let's say a flight delay or cancellation or any tiny adjustment, it's just so much harder with a middleman in the way for everything. I book 100% of my flights with the airline, and I suggest people to do this because it's going to be more convenient, and typically you're able to find better rates or similar rates. Essentially, OTA for flights is not something I recommend because when things go bad, it goes really bad. So this is one of the biggest mistakes I see beginners make. They think they can save $5 or $10 or $20 using an OTA, but then they have to pay all these extra fees. They get to the airport, they have to pay for baggage to select their seats, and it just doesn't work out well in the long run. What if I told you that you already might have this card that could save you $20 to $30 per night on hotel bookings? The travel tip I'm talking about is a AAA card, which usually costs around $6 per month, but on general, I see hotel discounts $20 to $30 per night just by using your AAA card. Now, let me explain how it works. Basically, the AAA card gets you discounts on hotels, rental cars, and even some attractions. So if you're renting a car, AAA has super great emergency help, and it can be an absolute lifesaver. In general, I primarily use my AAA card to get discounts at Marriott and Hilton hotels, and it's really going to vary on the time of the year and the hotel, but I see around $20 to $30 per night discounts on hotel bookings. And I love that the AAA rate usually gives you a 24 to 48 hour cancellation for no extra charge. So the AAA thing, it's usually going to get you your money back on one booking for a few nights of a hotel. So it's one of these things that is a really great thing to have. One of the biggest travel tips for beginners is they try to do too much. When you're picking a family for flights and airlines, I suggest starting off and just pick one family. And you should decide this on where you're going to be flying from and where you're flying to. So usually in the US, there's hubs. American has a hub, Delta has hubs, United has hubs, Southwest has hubs. So usually what I would suggest is picking one of those airlines based on where you're going to be living at and trying to fly primarily on that airline. That's going to help you build status, going to help you accumulate more miles, and it's also going to allow you to make your whole travel structure a lot easier. It's going to help you decide what credit cards to get and what airlines to fly on in the future. Sticking to one airline family is the best tip for beginners. So essentially, you'll earn points faster. You'll get perks like free upgrades, priority boarding, lounge access. Trust me, it's better to start off with one airline and try to stick with it. Now, the next tip only takes about 2 seconds, and it's really easy. You're going to want to do this right now. It's to smash the subscribe button for new videos that I'm putting out every single week. If you learned something here, I'm putting out new videos about how to earn from anywhere in the world, so you want to make sure you subscribe today. Now, this next travel tip for beginners is the way that I get sweet upgrades at hotels, free breakfast, late checkouts at 4 or 5 p.m., and a lot of other great perks, and that's to pick one hotel family. Just like I suggested for airlines, picking a hotel family is also going to allow you to really accelerate that process to going from no loyalty to having loyalty status at a hotel. Essentially, I suggest picking Marriott or Hilton, since these are some of the best hotel chains that have international inventory all around the world. You'll unlock perks like free breakfast, late checkout, sweet room upgrades, and you'll be able to stack your points together for free stays at hotels. There's a lot of other great ways that I'll get into later on how you can actually expedite this whole process. You're making a huge mistake if you don't have a credit card like this. Now, let me explain. If you want to have luxury travel and actually get some of those perks, you're going to want a credit card like the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And this is the biggest tip for beginners, is to get one really good travel credit card. And for 99% of people, it's going to be the Chase Sapphire Reserve or their preferred card. I always like the Reserve because it comes with a $300 travel credit and so many other perks that I'm using every year. But if you're not traveling as much, you might want to go with the preferred card. Now, the Chase Reserve card comes with some fantastic points redemptions for flights and hotels. You also get Priority Pass lounge access, which is going to allow you to join all of these great luxury lounges inside airports. And guys, if you learned something new there, you're gonna love this next part. I've partnered up with Amazon's Audible to give you a free copy of my #1 best-selling book, Global Career: How to Work Anywhere and Travel Forever. Global Career has been featured in prestigious publications like Forbes, CNBC, Entrepreneur Magazine, and even Lonely Planet. And with over 500 positive reviews, this book has helped hundreds of thousands earn from anywhere. To get your free copy and start a 30-day free trial of Audible, all you have to do is visit globalcareerbook.com/audio today, or just scan the QR code on the screen here. Now, if you want to learn how to stay in 5-star resorts and hotels for free and travel in business class for free, you need to understand how points redemptions work. Essentially, there's accumulating points and then maximizing those points. And that's the point where most beginners fail, is they figure out how to get points, but they don't know how to use them well. So understanding the whole process on how it works is going to separate you from flying in economy. For that same price, I could probably book a first-class round-trip flight. So again, understanding how to redeem your points is one of the biggest mistakes I see beginner travelers make. And again, guys, I'm gonna have some resources on how you can do this and how you can learn how to accumulate millions of miles every single year. And I've got a link below in my description that shows you everything you need to know about travel hacking and how I'm able to essentially fly in business and first class for free. Now, there's one free tool out there that I use almost every week, and it's the best free tool to find cheap flights, and it's called Google Flights. Google Flights is your best friend to finding cheapest flights. You can set up price alerts. You can see the history and historical price data for certain flights. And there's so many good filtering options that every flight search I do starts with Google Flights. And then I essentially go ahead, monitor the flights for a few weeks. And then what I'll do is I'll book directly with the airline that is the best option for what I'm looking for. This is one of the best tools out there. And the only thing is, I hope is they get a freaking app out there that makes it a lot easier. But again, it's still so much better than anything else out there. And I love that it's absolutely free. If you want to save up to 90% off flights, you need to join a discount flight email list. These email lists are going to show you when there's huge sales or what's called mistake fares. When an airline meant to put, $2,000 and they put $20 online. And a lot of times they actually have to honor these mistakes. So there's companies out there that are searching for these every single day. And one of my favorites is going.com, formerly Scotch Cheap Flights. This is the best one out there, and you can sign up for free today. Now, I've used going.com to secure round trip tickets to Europe for under $300. So again, I'll leave the link below in the description on how you can actually get a free trial. Now, two of the best travel apps for beginners that will absolutely transform your next trip is Flighty and TripIt. Flighty essentially organizes all of your flight details into one area, and TripIt essentially organizes all of your travel details into chronological order. So essentially what you do is you just set up your email alerts. So anytime you get a booking, it automatically syncs everything into a really easy to use app. So that way you never have to dig through your email to find your confirmation numbers or all these other things that are really annoying. And it just has it in one very clean, easy to use interface. And the best thing is both of these apps offer a free version. This travel hack could actually be a lifesaver for your next trip, and it's to take photos of everything. What you need to do is you need to make sure you take photos of your passport, your passport stamps when you're visiting a new country, the front and back of all of your credit cards, your luggage, and even your boarding passes. Again, you're gonna wanna take photos and upload these to a safe and secure cloud place that you can access. Think of the worst case scenario, your phone gets lost or stolen, your laptop gets broken, and you still need to access all of these things. You can go to a library or internet cafe and log in and still get access to all of these things. These pictures can be a lifesaver for you. And again, especially your credit cards, if your credit card stops working or you lose it, you want to understand that the number that you need to dial on the back of that credit card, having all of this in one safe, secure place in the cloud is absolutely essential. And it's been a lifesaver in some of these instances for traveling. This little thing right here has helped me eliminate jet lag completely. And what I'm talking about is a sleep mask. Essentially, sleeping on planes is so hard because of the bright lights and all the different environments that are changing. With a sleep mask, you're gonna get to sleep a lot faster, but more importantly, you're gonna have a deeper sleep for longer, which is gonna help eliminate all that pesky jet lag when you actually arrive in your next destination. The next biggest mistake I see new travelers make is they don't know their seat number before they get on a plane. And please don't be that guy or that person who's stumbling around trying to get lost on the airplane. Before you start boarding, you literally have hours before you get to the airport. Know where your seat is located, know which part of the plane it's in. And again, it's very easy. It's just in a chronological order, a numbering system, usually from 50 to 1. 50 will be in the back of the plane, and then you can understand easily if it's on the right or the left side of the plane. This is something that's so easy to do, and it can really expedite the boarding process. And it's the biggest mistake I see a lot of first-time travelers make is they don't know what they're doing once they get on the plane, but literally 30 seconds before they could have looked at their boarding pass and understand where exactly they are going, have a little bit of a game plan of when you get on the plane, who's gonna put the bags where, have all the stuff you need for your flight already taken out, or make sure you put your bags away and then get it after everyone has boarded and they're not cluttering or clogging this aisle. The next travel tip is to bring your cat with you for unlocking free travel stuff. Who can say no to a free upgrade when you have a cute cat with you? The biggest travel mistake I see is people get hit with massive roaming charges for data when they're traveling overseas. And this is why I suggest everyone to get an eSIM before you travel. And the company that I use is called Airline, and I'll leave a link below where you can get some free eSIMs just by using my link. And essentially these eSIMs will allow you to get access to the internet as soon as you land in your destination. It's super affordable, it's super convenient. The only downside I've seen for eSIMs is you don't have a local number. 99% of people don't really need that. But again, if you do need to make calls, you can use Skype credit, or you can just ask your hotel or Airbnb host to kind of help you out if you need to call somebody locally. Again, guys, you want to make sure you have an eSIM installed and paid for before you actually travel. This will make things so much easier. I never go anywhere without this travel item, and it's the essential thing for any type of traveler. Again, this is what is called a day bag. And within 3 seconds, you have a little day bag and now a huge backpack that you can use for all of your day trips. Whenever you land in a new destination, you can add in your wallet, your phone, your camera, anything else, maybe even a change of clothes. I use this for every single trip. These cost about $15 to $20 on Amazon, and they're absolutely essential for your next trip. Don't go on your next trip without doing this, and make sure that you have cash. Cash is king, and it's something that I see a lot of new travelers make is they show up in another country and the credit card or their debit card just aren't working and they don't have actual cash. I've been in so many weird situations over the years of traveling that cash has been an absolute lifesaver. Again, this is going to be one of those emergency situations, and I suggest having either US dollars, and you want to have a few different denominations. So 50s or 100s or 20s are usually going to be the best, but you always want to have at least $500 to $1,000 in cash for any type of trip. Again, you can exchange this for local currency if they won't accept it, or you can just get out of just about any type of situation. And the way I like to think about it is I like to have 1 or 2 days of cash, and usually a little bit more depending on where I'm going. And the reason is maybe I need to, your debit or credit cards get stolen or lost. You have some cash tucked away. And what I suggest is putting it in a few different places. So have $100 in your phone case, another $100 tucked away somewhere else, and try to divide it up a little bit so it's not just sitting in one spot. So again, cash is king, and it's going to be absolutely essential for any of those travel emergencies that might go wrong. And it's a good insurance policy. Now, if you learned anything from these 15 tips, I'm gonna leave a link below where you can actually go to the intermediate and advanced modules that I put together. I've put together more than 40 different modules about travel hacking, about how to travel around the world for free, staying in 5-star resorts, flying in first class, and essentially leveling up your travel so you can travel in luxury for cheaper and longer. So if you want to access that, just visit the link down below. And again, guys, I'm going to leave another great video for you right here to check out that I'm sure you'll absolutely love.